What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about The Witcher 4 and the State of Unreal trailer we got for it today. And look, I think opinions are kind of all over the place. I think one thing you can probably definitively say is, like, it looked unreal, no pun intended. Like, it looked absolutely incredible and I mean, mind-blowing. And we'll go over some of the details, right? Some of the finer details that they talked about in the trailer. But then I think there's where then the divide comes in, or I guess right afterwards, right? Because now it's, all right, well, what do you do with this information, right? You see how good it looks. You see the NPC activity, which honestly, to me, like and I've said this before, in open world games, I love the feeling that they're lived in. Okay, that's the number one thing I look for in games like The Witcher or Cyberpunk or GTA. That's why I think GTA is going to be so special, and hopefully Witcher 4 can as well. How does it feel lived in? Do people act like that when you leave an area? Do you almost feel like you're missing something? And I mean, that was a huge, there was like the muscles of the horse moving, right? We got another look at Ciri, technically the first official, like in-game, she's moving around. We got a couple things, right? But in terms of these NPCs and their behaviors of selling things, and, you can run into a guy and knock over his fruits, and then a kid picks up the fruits. I mean, that is next level. And that really is, I guess, probably the point of this State of Unreal, right? Like, what can be done with this stuff? And, okay, again, like, you take all of that and you say, freaking awesome, right? Like, if this is implemented in a lot of games, not even just The Witcher, but if we can do this, games are going to achieve that next level, right? We're looking for the fidelity. We're looking for games to run well, of course. But, those kind of smaller, finer details are things that I think are going to be pretty important. Of course, then there's the things that come out of it that say, hey, this was running on, or actually they said it on stage as well. This is running on a base PS5 at 60 FPS, right? Now, okay. Now, really, that's where I want to almost leave that part, because then you say, again, you take that info and you say, well, what do we do with this, right? Number one, this is a cross-gen game at best. And when I say at best, I mean it's most likely a next-gen. Like, for sure, it's going to be next-gen. I can't imagine it. Will it also come out on PS5 and Series X and maybe S? Yeah. I think that's probably the goal. And look, I think by doing what they did on PS5, they are showing to some degree, like, hey, it's possible. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to go too far with that idea that, oh, okay, well, just because they showed it, it's golden. Because number one, we've literally felt this with CD Projekt Red before, right? Like, hopefully they've learned lessons, and that's the number one thing. And that's where I think I've said this before too, you have to earn trust back for what happened at launch of Cyberpunk, and the redemption story is great, and I do think they earned some trust back there, but it's really going to take their next game, I think, to fully get the trust back. So The Witcher 4, obviously has to do everything that Cyberpunk didn't do on launch day, but this is one of those elements to it where it's like, I want to follow along, I want to believe in them, all that jazz, but then there's that part of me where it's like, well, we've been lied to. And also these State of Unreal presentations, like, this is showing the potential. This is not showing a guarantee of what's in every single game, right? And it's like, I'll take Ciri's character model. I think that's a great takeaway that you probably can take away and say, all right, anybody, and we talked about it, the face, what did they do with her face? Did they do anything with her face? And in truth, I think I was right. I think the people that sided with me were right. I think it was just bad, camera work and just like the way they were framing her face. She looks awesome. She looks really good. And I don't think they listened to criticism or harassment and changed it. I honestly feel this is how she was always going to look. And I felt that maybe it was just not done so well. And we talked about it before. Geralt in some trailers, the CG trailers looked pretty odd. And then you see him in game and it's different. I feel like that's just what we saw here. Can the game run fully 60 FPS on a base PS5 when it comes out 2.5 years from now? At best, because most likely 2 years, like 2027, I think is the earliest you're getting this game. Probably 2028, maybe even later. And then, yeah, you think about it, that's for sure the next generation. And then it's probably probably comes out on last gen consoles. And like, what is it going to be capable of doing, right? And it's tough because, like, well, they're showing it. They're literally showing these things are possible. And one key line, one very big takeaway, right, is, and they say it in the tech demo, they say that it's set in the Witcher 4 world, but it's not The Witcher 4 itself. Now, that last part they said afterwards, that was an update. On the tech stage, right, they said that the tech demo is set in The Witcher 4 world, and then later they said, but not The Witcher 4 itself. So you're like, what does that really mean? Like that seems like that seems like a riddle, like the Riddler would pull on Batman. But I mean, honestly, to me, it means like this is not. They didn't take. They're working at their desk yesterday, right? They have whatever build they have of The Witcher 4. They didn't take that and then use that as a tech demo. I think this was something very specifically designed for the tech demo, and it's using the Witcher 4 world. Does that make sense? It's using the world, but it's not the world. And I mean, and that's important. I mean, I guess depending on like if I'm thinking about it right, and you guys might think about it differently than me, but like if I am thinking about it right, well, that's just that extra thing to throw on, right? This is best case scenario. This is really, again, can a lot of these things appear in Witcher 4? God, I hope so. I want them to. They should appear because you just showed it, right? But I mean, the expectation, at least from me, is not, okay, well, everything we saw here, this is exactly how the base game is going to play. It's tough. I mean, sometimes games can get downgraded from something like this. Like the end product might actually be worse. I might think that just to kind of keep expectations in check, right? Where it's like, all right, when the base game comes out, it's not going to be exactly like this. Maybe it'll be a couple steps down. At the same time, to give a little bit of credit and to be a little hopeful and optimistic about our future, the game is not coming for several more years. So like, yes, this was a very fine-tuned thing for this, Unreal thing. But I mean, you give them 2 more years, 2.5 years. Shouldn't they be able to do this? You know what I mean? And that's really where I kind of want to leave it. Like, I feel you give them enough time, these things that they implement should be able to be implemented. And maybe it's not on PS5. Maybe it's on PS6 and the next Xbox. But again, I think this is a good baseline where it's like, all right, this is kind of what's possible. Is it going to be exactly like this on a base Series X and PS5? I really don't think so. But hey, prove me wrong. That's fine. Prove everybody wrong, right? Because again, that's kind of how you earn that trust back. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and hope to see you all on the next one.